equations. We're working stuff out. We have forms of equations. Let's see, that good old-fashioned point slope. I think yesterday I showed you guys briefly that point slope form is the same thing as AH&K. That's right. So you've been using that whole idea of AH&K without knowing that you've been using the idea of AH&K. Now, the reason why I wanted to remind you of this one was because if we wanted to write the equation that is parallel to y equals negative 2x minus 4, and it goes through the ordered pair 8, 7. This is the style problem that you would utilize point slope form. Now, when you're writing equations of lines that are parallel, or you're writing equations of lines that are perpendicular, I know that it's been a while since we've done this. I know we did this beginning of last week, I want to say, maybe. So it's been, it's been about a week or so. And prior to that, it's been a couple of years. Because last year in geometry, we barely touched through this. It's one of those sections that we try to re-emphasize some basic skills in geometry with a lot of students that they tend to forget from algebra. Figure. So whenever we did this, I had you guys write it out in like a couple of different steps where we try to make it as easy as possible. First thing you do is, well, what's the original slope? Yeah. The original slope is negative 2. Is this a parallel or a perpendicular problem? Parallel. So what's parallel to a negative 2? Negative 2. Good. And this is why I would say use point slope form now with your ordered pair. Y minus 7 is negative 2, x minus 8. And then what would you do? Distribute and solve for y. Good. And that's what pushes you into slope-intercept form. So you get y equals negative 2x plus 16 plus 7 is 3. 16 and 7? Yes. What's wrong, Mackie? You look perplexed. I don't know if he's depressed. Are you depressed or are you just upset or sad or tired?
What?
Do you need a hug?
I think it's the tired one.
Somebody give him a hug to make him feel better.
All right. I'm sorry, I don't hug people. Just give them a lot to get out of my chest.
What would be different if it was perpendicular?
It'd be 1.
Just reminded you of that. The other thing I'd remind you of, I want to write the equation of a line that goes through ordered pairs. If I want to write the equation of a line that goes through ordered pairs, what do? Slope. Very good. So the first thing you'd want to do on slope. Slope is what over what?
Y over x minus x.
X2, x1. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, x sub 2.
You
know what I meant.
Hey, I just want to make sure you know what you meant. So you can change y, negative 6 minus 2, negative 4 minus 1. Ooh, that's an awesome slope.
I don't like it.
That's not.
How is you're not.
Slope is too cool.
It's too cool for school.
No,
But it's in
never
school.
do school kids stay in. I mean,
You can. We're in a safe environment.
don't do school kids stay in Bronx.
That made absolutely no sense at all.
Don't do drugs,
Hey,
kids.
but hey, the
Stay
profit
cool.
margins
Pretty decent.
Or like
Pretty decent.
perfume, okay? I mean, you tell me.
That is perfume. Did you just equate drug prices to perfume?
Yes, it's like.
You know, I have not heard that analogy, but that is so straight on. That's good.
Yes.
All right.
More financially stable for me.
I should stop egging him on. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. So now we have a slope. You have 2 points to choose from for writing out the equation. It doesn't matter which one you use. No. We use 2 and 1. We'll go y minus 2 is 8/5 x minus 1. Now, is it okay to see really crappy looking fractions?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, in this case, it would be really, really easy just to, well, actually, after we distribute, 8/5 times -1 is -8/5. But when I rewrite my 2, we'll do this. So it's 8/5. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to rewrite this 2 in terms of fifths. What divided by 5 is 2? So what I'm doing is just, I'm automatically converting my fraction ahead of schedule. By doing that, it just makes math easier. Okay? It makes it really, really easy. Because now you just add your 10/5 and what do you wind up with? 18. 2/5.
Oh, yeah, because it's negative, right? Yeah.
You were just making sure I was paying attention.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's okay that you'll see fractions. It's okay that they'll work out. It's a matter of, can you just make a quick little common denominator and go for it. It shouldn't be so bad. All right? X equals a number is what kind of a line? Don't say straight.
Straight. Straight.
Right? Yay, I always get mixed up.
So now by process of elimination, y equals a number is what?
Another
Straight.
straight.
It's horizontal. You're looking at me, Tracy.
But
Because
even
you
if
said
it's
the S
diagonal,
is
it's
line.
still straight.
So the horizontal is the X.
When you're talking about H and K's, yes. I'm talking about, yeah. So when you have x equal a number, it means it's always going to be that value of x vertically. What's the slope of every vertical line? How's it line?
That one.
It's not 0. This one is 0 because what's the second letter of the horizontal?
Oh,
Zero. It's H0, H0R. All right. Now, remember, vertical lines are always parallel to vertical lines. Horizontal lines are always parallel to horizontal lines. Horizontal lines and vertical lines are what to each other? Perpendicular to each other, which means they have opposite reciprocal slopes. Which is fine, because the opposite reciprocal of 0 would be 1 over 0, which is undefined. And it's okay. I know it's a lot. I'm hoping that you're going to be okay with this extra bit of information. I'm trusting that you're going to be just fine. If not, it's okay. Me? Yeah. Sometimes. Sometimes I try to make it look like I know what I'm doing.
No, I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at the fact that you said that. Different things.
So, what I want to do is I'm going to graph two-dimensional and a shaded plane. Remember, when you're graphing shaded regions, you're always going to cover up the, yes, the shade. Yes, we're going to cover the shade, right. But when you're shading it, remember, it creates two planes. One side's true, one side's false. Which side do you always cover? True. You want to be a shady character and cover the truth. Exactly, right? Now, I wrote this equation or inequality out. I wrote it out in that standard form. Now, when you have standard form, remember, there's a couple of things that you can do. You could put it in slope-intercept form and solve it that way if you'd like. Or, remember how we did quick graphs?
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Quick graphs. When you're doing quick graphs, all we're trying to look and identify are the intercepts. So you treat it just like you would a regular equality, and you're going to cover and solve. All right. Remember, cover and solve just meant I did what's my x-intercept? 4. What's my y-intercept? Okay. Look, shooting star.
Not be math.
I wish I wasn't here right
I wish I was
You
doing
math.
that.
I wish for 10 more wishes.
now. That smells like
All right, connect the dots. La la la. Solid or dotted?
that was my favorite.
Solid.
Oh my gosh.
Solid.
That was my favorite show as a kid.
I messed up.
It's salted. Yes, it's delicious.
What?
Yes.
Test point. Does it go through the origin?
No.
No. What is 2 times 0? 0. What's 0 minus 0?
0.
Is 0 bigger than 8?
No.
No. So it is El Falso there.
And you have to cover the truth.
Yes, Vangelis. Which therefore, by process of elimination, the other side would be true.
Oh, wait.
Both sides are false.
Everything is fun.
Remember, when you guys are shading these things through, you do not need to just go and shade the whole thing like crazy, because next week when we do systems of inequalities, you're going to want to try and see some deal. Just real basic shade like that. Not bad. After that, we jumped into piecewise stuff.
Is that a step function?
No, it's not the second bit. Okay. Is there going to be a second bit? I don't know.
Wait, why?
No. Oh, I totally forgot how to do this.
That's a lot of stuff right there.
Oh, I got this. What form is it?
It's like it's
Okay? Piecewise function. Piecewise functions are domain restricted, which means you have multiple functions that lie upon the graph that are only within a specific values of the domain. Remember, domain is the x values. So what's happening here is, so depending upon what value of x you're substituting into your function equation, you're going to get a specific value for your range, which therefore generates an ordered pair. So when I'm looking at stuff like this, you have to be able to identify the different parts of the function. You have to be able to identify where your intercepts and stuff might be, where your what your slopes might be, and then identify lastly the range, or excuse me, your domain restrictions. Now, ideally, what I would think of is that I would try to figure out where my domain stuff is going crazy, write that down first, because that'll give me my different, however many different equations I have to worry about. So, easy to see. Bless you. It's kind of easy to see how many you have to worry about here, because there are how many on the graph? 3 of them. So I have something going on when x is less than or equal to 0, when x is between 0 and 4, and when x is greater than or equal to 4. Everybody okay with the fact of the open and closed dots on those? All right. Now, one of those is really, really easy to work with. The horizontal one, because what's the equation of every horizontal line?
This one.
Y equals some number. What does y have to equal in this case?
2.
2. Okay. So one of these, that's probably sort of bit. Yeah. All right. Doesn't matter which one of the other ones you pick to write out first. No. So I would just start going from left to right. If I'm looking at the graph on the left, looks like we have a slope of 2. Hey, we also have a y-intercept. Ooh, it's nice, isn't it? What's the equation if you have a slope of 2 and a y-intercept of 5? Okay?
Have it as 0 less than x.
Okay. Now, on the other one, we have to figure out what the y-intercept is. It shouldn't be too difficult to do that, because in this case, your slope on the second graph is what? I'm sorry, the third graph. I'm talking about the third. You have -1. So I know that no matter what, my slope from the first, or my last graph here is -x, and I could probably just walk my way back 1, 1, 1, 1, and it's at 4. It's pretty easy to do. Now, if by chance it wound up not working out onto a clean intercept, what would you do?
Point slope form.
I would use point slope form if it wound up on something that wasn't clean. For example, let's say that this didn't, just for fun, let's say that this didn't line up on something clean. But you knew that you had a slope of -1, and you knew an ordered pair. Couldn't you just substitute in the slope and the ordered pair into point slope form and solve for y? That's what you have to do. Okay. I think we did this. Let me do an example of that where one of being like a fraction the other day. I couldn't remember if it was your class or 12th hour. It might have been 12th hour. I might like them better.
Because I'm here.
Because they're loud.
They're loud. They actually, since I told them to stop talking so much, they've been pretty quiet. It's nice. Actually got through a lot of stuff. Actually, it was good. So they kind of got caught up to it. Huh? I didn't really yell at them. I just kind of explained to them, like, hey, you do know that I told them that I got through like 4 or 5 more examples in this class than I did 12th hour. They're all like, and I said, you know, we all take the same tests, the same things. Who's going to do that? Oh, speaking of, I run multiple versions of every test, so whatever you tell them is not going to be relevant to what they get. Yeah. And
What about the final?
Oh, I still do multiples of those. And here's the other thing. It's curved. If it's curved, is it going to help you anyway?
No.
No, it would hurt you.
What if we tell them all
But if we
false?
tell them false together as a team.
Oh, you can tell them false stuff, whatever. But remember, if that class does 8-10% better than you guys, they've said it, and the curving going to affect them. It's not. It doesn't get curved because it's naturally sent out that way. You can see the disparagement between digits and how things work. It's kind of crazy. So, no reason. What else you got for question-wise for some of those review stuff that we looked at? Yes, sir.
Can you go through that whole point of thing if it doesn't go through it?
Oh, sure. So let's say this one didn't go through there. Do you agree that the slope there is -1? All right. So let's say we have a slope of -1, and that ordered pair was at 4, 0. Let's say that's what that was. All I would have to do is just use point slope form and fill in the blanks. So I'd have y minus 0 is -1, x minus 4. And just solve for y. You get y equals -1x plus 4. Okay. It works no matter what. It just so happened that this one was clean. But if it wasn't clean, you would do the exact same thing. And I don't think any of our problems we've had have been any worse than like a third or like that one fraction was a fourth. Again, it's even with the numbers and stuff that they work out, more often than not, your ordered pairs you'll be able to convert a fraction without too much of a hassle. Okay. So I did my best searching around looking for some good review stuff, extra problems when I had to try out. And I stumbled across an old book test that was on here. So let's take a look at which ones I want you to try.
I will give you the chance. You get 20 tests. Can I use my calculator? Use grid at left.
Just take this one.
Grid at left. Grid at left.
I would make sure that we would know how to do numbers 6 through 18. I will collect those problems tomorrow, and that will be the homework grades I'll enter in. All right. Instead of having to go through and do the homework check this week on this. Okay.
This is the only computer just check is this.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So that means I did all the other work.
Well, you're going to do well on your tests, so yes.
The beauty of doing
It's just.
Okay.
Yeah, bless you. Don't worry about where it says use grid at left and whatnot. That means you're just using the graph that's there. Other suggestion I would say is for the ones that you have to write the equations, for like 8 through 12, do it on a separate sheet of paper. That way you got some space to write it out. All right. Tomorrow, I guess what I'll do is I will, or even if you swing by later on today or anything like that, I'll make an answer key for this so you can check it. I'll probably have that set for you, but I don't think you'll have any issues. We've got time now to walk through it. All right. You want to listen to your music and whatnot while you're doing this? It's fine. No better to be.
Sweet.
We can make it more difficult for you.
No, stop.
Sometimes it's so obvious. It's obvious. Yes, sir.
What's your favorite song?
Yes, sir.
Oh,